Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between sparkling silver mountains and crystal-clear lakes, lived a kind-hearted princess named Elara. She had eyes like the morning sky and hair as golden as the sun. But unlike other princesses, Elara held a mysterious secret. Her tears would freeze into crystal when they touched the ground. Elara's frozen tears weren't ordinary ice. Each tear shimmered like a diamond and glowed with soft blue light. They were called Tears of Light, and they were believed to hold ancient magic. But Elara rarely cried, for she was always cheerful and brought joy to everyone in the kingdom of Leora. The trees stood still, the rivers stopped flowing, and the skies turned dull. The kingdom was trapped in silence. Without her, no wind can blow, and the world will slowly fall asleep forever. One winter, the gentle winds that carried snowflakes and songbirds suddenly disappeared. No one knew what had happened until a wise old owl named Cedric arrived from the northern peaks with news. The spirit of the wind is imprisoned in the ice caves beyond the hollow mountains. Elara's father, King Alder, called for the bravest knights. But the journey was too dangerous. The caves were guarded by a frozen beast called Firenox, who fed on warmth and light. None dared to go, but Elara stood and said with courage. Inside, the walls shimmered like mirrors, and the cold stung like needles. She took out the frozen tear, placed it on the ground, and whispered, "I will go." His frost began to crack, and his eyes softened. "My frozen tears can bring light in darkness, and I will not let the world fall into silence." Though her father hesitated, he knew her heart was pure and strong. Her hair floated like breeze, and her voice was silent. With eyes of frost and wings of icicles, he roared, freezing the air around him. The journey beyond the mountains. Elara dressed in a cloak sewn from moonlight threads and packed only what she needed. A lantern, a loaf of sweet bread, and a small pouch where she had stored one of her frozen tears. She rode her white deer Nimra, past snowy forests and whispering valleys, until she reached the entrance of the ice caves. Suddenly, Firenox, the frozen beast, appeared. "You cannot pass," he growled. Elara stood firm and gently held her pouch. "This tear holds my hope, my love for my people, and my dream for the wind to return." The tear glowed brighter and brighter until it melted, releasing warmth that the cave hadn't felt in centuries. Firenox stopped. "You gave your sorrow as a gift. No one has done that before," he said, then stepped aside. "The spirit of the wind returns deep in the cave." Elara found the spirit of the wind trapped in a crystal prison. Elara shed another tear, not of sadness, but of compassion, and placed it on the crystal. The ice cracked, and suddenly the wind returned. It blew Elara's hair and carried laughter through the cave. The spirit awoke and whispered, "You freed me with the strength of your heart. The wind shall always answer when you call." A kingdom saved. People called her Elara the Brave, but she only smiled and said, "Sometimes the softest heart can melt the coldest darkness." And though she still rarely cried, whenever she did, her tears always brought light, magic, and hope.